Coming up, a concerning uptick in the number of deaths on Kentucky's roadways.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. 813, that's, excuse me, that's the number of people who died on Kentucky highways in 2023. It's a concerning number, leading law enforcement to push for more safety on the road. It's also a 9% increase over 2022. Jeremy Toms talked with law enforcement and other experts about the behaviors behind the concerning uptick.
These numbers tell us we need to get serious about staying safe in our vehicles.
The Kentucky Transportation Cabinet says 813 Kentuckians were killed on the Commonwealth's roadways in 2023.
You know, it's an astronomical number. I couldn't imagine, you know, they leave for work one day or they leave to go to the store, and then the next visit you get is from the coroner's office and a police officer.
Richmond Police Chief Rodney Richardson feels for the hundreds of families left with hearts hurting.
And we need to be careful. We need to follow the speed limit, and we don't need to be distracted. Put our cell phones down, put them on silent.
Driver distractions became so prevalent in this year's data that it surpassed drunk driving. And a third of all fatalities involved aggressive driving or speeding. But perhaps the most staggering statistic from KYTC is that 51% of these fatalities, or more than 400 people who died, weren't wearing seatbelts.
That's why Lori Weaver Hawkins says it is so important to buckle up every time you hit the road.
I think a lot of people just don't realize that that seatbelt is your first line of defense if there's a crash.
Chief Richardson believes that with simple steps like clicking in your seatbelt,
we can reduce that number quite significantly.
It can save lives and save the whole community from the impact of a crash.
We can do better. We can actually do better. You know, we just need to be vigilant when we're driving.
Jeremy Toms, WKYT.
Chief Richardson adds that injury crashes impact more than just the cars involved. First responders and police often have to go to the scene, and that can lead to roads being shut down and traffic backups. Now, a closer look at some of the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet's highway fatality data. 2023's number of deadly crashes is the highest it's been since 2016. That year, there were 834 deaths. They fell each year after that until 2020, when there were 780 highway deaths. 2021 saw 806 deadly crashes, and those numbers dropped in 2022 to 744 traffic deaths. Well, a busy roadway was blocked for a few hours tonight due to blasting debris. It happened at the site of an ongoing project on Old Kentucky 80 near exit 56 off the Hal Rogers Parkway. We are also told power was knocked out for a time in that area. The road is now back open.
We are tracking some mild weather to close out your Tuesday and possibly a few showers as well, mainly close to I-75 up on First Alert Pinpoint Doppler. You can see we are tracking a few light showers at this hour for parts of McCreary County pushing into Pulaski, also Wayne counties, and a closer look at portions of Laurel County, also moving into Rockcastle County. Nothing severe, nothing too heavy, but a few spotty showers are possible as we go over the next few minutes there. This is all thanks to a strong upper level low producing some severe weather today over Iowa, also Illinois and Missouri. And notice we are tracking some more rain over western Kentucky, pushing into portions of southern Illinois, also southern Indiana. And we could see a few more showers as we go through late Tuesday, also early on your Wednesday. Those temperatures still mild. We are past 11 o'clock and still in the 70s up to 76 in Jackson, 77 over in Somerset, and we see lows back in the middle to upper 60s to wake up on Wednesday. A few more showers and maybe a few storms by Wednesday, and trending cooler by this weekend. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Cameron, thank you. 2 people have been convicted in connection to the 2021 murder of a Knox County man. Joseph Masters and Charles McVeigh were convicted last week following a 4-day trial. Masters was convicted on a number of charges, including murder and first-degree burglary. McVeigh was found guilty of complicity to murder and first-degree burglary. Both men were arrested nearly 3 years ago in connection to the death of Matthew Welsh of Woodbine. He was found stabbed to death inside his home in July of 2021. Masters and McVeigh are set to be sentenced on May 24th. Kentucky State Police are asking for your help. Troopers at Post 13 in Hazard say if you're tired of the crime associated with the drug trade, or if you know someone who's been impacted by the drug epidemic, you can become a paid informant. If you're interested, you can contact a narcotics detective or an investigative supervisor. Lawmakers approved funding to help develop roadways in Laurel County. Millions of dollars is coming to the area to widen a section of Interstate 75 and a section of the Hal Rogers Parkway. Funding is also going toward developing U.S. Highway 25. Senator Brandon Storm of London helped Laurel County get that funding. And he said, quote, "The funding to improve our local roads will play a big role in safer travel and commutes and will improve the flow of commerce," end quote. Lawmakers also approved funding for the City Plaza project in London. Kentucky has the highest rate of cancers caused by HPV in the United States. The Markey Cancer Center hosted a national consortium on HPV vaccination research focusing on the importance of increasing HPV vaccination rates in Kentucky and nationwide. While the vaccine is not mandatory in Kentucky, officials strongly encourage it. Dr. Pamela Hull emphasizes that it's a crucial tool for preventing cancer in children.
Yeah, we really want to see our rates of HPV vaccination go up in Kentucky. Right now, just over half of teenagers have gotten the vaccine, all the doses of the vaccine, and we really want to get that up to closer to 80% or even higher so we know they're protected in the future.
Dr. Hall says there's a special focus on rural areas where HPV vaccination rates are lower and HPV-related cancer rates are higher. Starting today, you can get some financial help with your electricity bills as the days start heating up. Lucy Bryson spoke with Kentucky River Foothills about the spring subsidy program.
Warmer days can feel like all your worries are melting away, but when pricey electricity bills start heating up too, it could cause you to panic.
We're just coming off of the back end of those colder months. We understand that a lot of our clients have just had to pay really high heating bills, and we don't want them to be burdened with really high cooling bills.
If that sounds like your situation, Karen Atkins with Kentucky River Foothills says LIHEAP could help.
LIHEAP stands for Low Income Heating Assistance Energy Program. We are helping folks who have the lowest incomes with their electric bills.
The spring subsidy program is open now until the end of May. It's only eligible for households earning up to 150% of the federal poverty guidelines. If you apply, you could receive up to $200 toward your electricity company for your next bill. So how do you get it?
Well, first of all, you have to be responsible for your cooling bill. So you have to be either a homeowner or a renter. You just have to provide your Social Security number and proof of income for everyone in the house. That's what will configure what your benefit is.
Bringing those items to your appointment can help you leave with some peace of mind. But she says what not to bring is any shame for coming in.
And so we really want to, remind people that, we're here, we're accessible, and we want to be able to help people who need it the most.
In Clark County, I'm Lucy Bryson, WKYT.
Kentucky River Foothills services Estill, Clark, Madison, and Powell counties. Counties outside of those can find local assistance through local community action partnerships. Well, last April, we shared the story of the Clay County High School Choir getting the opportunity to sing in Washington, D.C. And earlier this month, the choir made that trip during spring break, sharing their vocals and bringing smiles to faces, singing to roughly 80 veterans in a retirement home and out in the community. Choir director Nick Hibbard says he's proud of his students and their effort to make an impact.
Just the magic that took place in this room preparing for it, the moments of clarity when we would sing through a piece and realize, this has significant implications to the people we're going to be singing it to. The branch's military songs and songs dedicated to the people that never did come home.
The students also sang on the steps of the Thomas Jefferson Memorial and laid a wreath at the World War II Memorial. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, 7 Manhattan residents have been selected so far and sworn in to serve on the jury in former President Donald Trump's criminal trial.
Plus, we are tracking some spotty storm chances tomorrow and some cooler conditions by this weekend. Your forecast coming up.